Welcome back to Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an AMX ELC BIS. It's a Tier 5 French light tank and it's located on the south spawn of Redshire under the command of MCHammereD. Well, you could be forgiven for calling this the ELC AMX actually, because back when the game first started, this tank was in the game and it was known as by that when it started, the ELC AMX. It's a French light tank that's designed to be air transportable, carried into battle by aircraft, and then used in the field. It's only got a crew of 2, and both of them are sitting in the turret, the driver and the commander, but the turret can only turn the full way around and traverse if the vehicle is stationary. Now in the game, it can carry 2 guns, a 75mm, and that's got a fully rotating turret, and a 90mm which can only move slightly either side in its arc. And oh well, as a true light tank, he's just discovered the enemy, and there's an AMD 178B wheelie. That's a French wheeled vehicle. He hasn't spotted anybody else yet, but these wheelies do tend to get ahead of themselves. And he's now spotted a 78 landing. He was spotted by the enemy. I don't think he's got 6th sense, or at least if he does, it didn't go off. Well, there's another Arty round. We lost 161 to that BP. He's having to scoot back, find another place to go to the front and start spotting again. Now you may have noticed he's got a T67 in tow. Or is he going off elsewhere? No, he's going off elsewhere. Now I can tell you that that gun is the 90mm. I know that from identification just by looking at it. The 75mm doesn't really have the muzzle brake. That's the clue. The other clue, of course, is the fact that the gun can't turn the whole way round. Okay, he's sitting at the castle. Well, looking at the castle. Nobody turned up there yet. Now this tank does have probably the best camo qualities for a light tank in the game. Other than the C100 LT, of course. According to the wiki, that's true. Not sure if it is, but anyway, I'll take their word for granted. And with a crew of only 2, it means that all the work has to be carried out by that crew. Drivers obviously just concentrating on making sure they can move this vehicle about, whereas the commander, well, he not only has to look for the targets, he has to aim the gun and he has to load it as well. And with a 90mm gun, that actually takes 14 seconds to do, and it does 240 alpha. And there's a target. Oh, lovely shot there on the KV-1. Not sure he can see us. We're probably outside his view range. If our 6th sense did go off, we're probably about to receive an Arty round. 25 TP, just seen at the exit to the castle. And he just took an Arty round. He's just got a bit of stun on him. And because we spotted him, we picked up some damage assist. Or spotting assist, I should say, actually. Now, a lot of people have actually been playing the AMX ELC for just recently, so they can get onto the French light vehicles line, especially the wheeled vehicles, because they want to try them out for the first time. And a lovely shot there in a VK3001H. 2 more shots like that, and he's out the game. And the enemy's now starting to leave the castle grounds. Can we get one more shot before? No, it actually hit the ground, so he's going to have to pull back because they probably know where he is now. But he did get some spotting damage. Yes, that round from the VK tells us that he knows where we are. Now, oh, and he's gone. So we've got some more spotting assist on that. Now, can we get some more on this Matilda? Well, we lost our T67, but we killed the Matilda Black Prince. It's a decent gun. It's got decent penetration. 90mm gun. It's actually more of what you might say a tier 6 or tier 7 gun in a tier 5 tank. That being it's at 90mm. G2. We'll put a round into him. Yes, into the engine bay as well. Nice rolls, 261. And the enemy ELC is coming this way. We're not loaded. Now we are. And the G2 takes another round. And their ELC is now looking in our direction, so we'll just have to stay here for a moment until he goes unspotted. Yep. And the Cheetah's been killed, so we picked up some more spotting assist. And MCHammereD's going to try and take it round to the other corner, I think. Or at least fox the ELC as to which one we're going to. We're 2 tanks up on the enemy at the moment. There's a Type 58 over there, but I think he's just the other side of the ridgeline. We occupy the east side of the map, and the enemy occupies, well, the west side, but with the exception of this area. Now, the AMX ELC used to be famous for trolling enemy tanks. So you can get below their gun depression, sit alongside the enemy vehicle, and troll them. Now, I'm not sure if that KV-1 realizes he's about to drive into a whole world of trouble. One shot. That's it. All it took. And here comes the ELC. Yeah, he knows we're on reload. He knows we just fired. He knows we've got the 90mm. And he's got the 75mm stop gun. Because it's the short, fat one. And he just took a massive round. 234, but it's a low roll. Just need to get behind the rock to stop him shooting. Because remember, he can turn the turret the whole way round. Which they can only do in actuality when the vehicle is stationary. Oh, and the Type 58 was watching us. And he put a round into us when we got to the other side of the rock. Otherwise, we would have taken out that ELC. But we certainly picked up a lot of damage and a lot of assist out of that one. We're still 2 tanks ahead of the enemy, and most of our tanks are heavy. So I think the enemy's now in a whole world of trouble, because they're going to find these tanks very, very tough to crack. That was a really good game played by MCHammereD, but he's just insulted the rest of his team by calling them retards. Not sure that's a wise decision at this point. I know you're angry that you're dead and that Type 58 got a shot at you, but I think they're about to win the game thanks to your help, because you took out 2 tanks that enabled them to win. And we're following the T150. And, oh, that Thunderbolt just took an Arty round. Got to remember that the enemy team has got a Fifi. And now they've only got that Type 58 as well, which means they are in trouble. An M44 and the 105 Le FH ATV2, the Fifi La Pew Pew. But this T150 should be able to do a whole lot of trouble to both the Artys. T150 is actually quite a good Soviet tank, and it looks from the gun that he's using, he's got 1 mark of excellence. Looks from the gun barrel that he's actually using the ZIL gun, which is actually quite long. It might be the 85mm. I think it's the ZIL. I was going to say about the AMX ELC though that it actually has dreadful armour. Well, M44 is about to die. There you go. One Arty round. T150 is doing a spotting job for us, and he's about to find the PP. It'd be nice if he let the Arty get the kill on that one, because that would be a counter battery. He'd get the assist. It's probably over in this corner. No sign of him yet. Might be behind that rock. Oh, well, this is interesting. He's not there, which means he might have gone east. Oh, no, he hasn't. There he is. He went round this way. And 1 shot's enough to finish him off. And that wins the game. I was going to say about the AMX ELC, it's got virtually no armour whatsoever. It's so light so it can go fast that literally you can penetrate it with a tier 1 tank. It's that bad, I'm afraid. But that means you do have to take care that you don't get hit by the enemy. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. And it's the first mark of excellence for MCHammereD in the AMX ELC biz. He also managed to get an ace tanker in that game, and he got a spotter as well for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage, and a fire for effect for doing more damage to the hit points to his own vehicle. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, there we go. He wasn't the highest damage in the game. That goes to the Type 58, the one that killed him. He managed to pick up a high caliber for 2,216 hit points of damage overall. But MCHammereD came second. He got 1,422 hit points. And the Easy 8 Thunderbolt managed to get 1,386. When it came to kills, though, it was the Thunderbolt who came top alongside the Type 58. Both got 3 kills apiece. And MCHammereD managed to get 2 kills. And when it came to base XP, well, it's MCHammereD who managed to get the best because, of course, he was Tier 5, Tier 7 game, was it Tier 6 game? Tier 6 game, sorry. And he did very well for himself, 1,025 base experience points. Next high scorer was the Thunderbolt with 895 and the T150 with 621. MCHammereD fired only 8 rounds from that 90mm gun. He got 7 direct hits and 7 penetration. It's a decent gun, good penetration on it, so it can really do the damage to the enemy. In fact, as I say, it's a higher tier gun in a very light tank. Did damage of 1,422 hit points, of which 253 were at more than 300 meters. He received 2 hits from the enemy. One was penetration and 1 hit as a result of splash damage. That was from the Arty right at the start of the game. He spotted 8 enemy vehicles, damaged 5 of the enemy, killed 2, and did damage assistance, or spotting assistance I should say, of 1,325 hit points. And that's because he was spotting the enemy tanks as they were coming out the south of the castle and enabling our Arty a little further back and the T67 to do some damage. On a premium count, he earned 42,227 credits, and after repair and ammunition resupply, and the ammo is very cheap, he actually took away 37,802 credits. He received 1,538 XP, times 2 for the first victory, took away 3,076 experience points altogether. So a very good round in the AMX ELC there for MCHammereD. It was a pity that he did get killed. Unfortunately, though, he was in a bit of a pickle because he couldn't get shots on that Type 58 as long as he was staying over the ridgeline. But the moment he went into combat against that AMX ELC, and fired a round into him, then obviously the Type 58 was waiting for him to be in a visible position, could peek up over the ridgeline and put a round into him to finish him off. So a bit of a pity on that, but there was not a lot that MCHammereD could do. He was in a bit of a bind. He was stuck to that rock, and in the end, the Type 58 got him. So, if you enjoyed that replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.